Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is Monday, the 6th of November. It's 11 a.m. Central European time, and it is the start of another week closer to the halving. We have a packed show. We're going to go through the markets, then we're going to look at some Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, as well as XRP news and charts. We're then going to look at some news about the SEC again. We're going to look at what Musk said over the weekend about X and X issuing a coin. We're going to look at some Simpsons news. We very rarely speak about the Simpsons on here. And then we're going to finish in about 45 minutes with our quiz. So if you are new to Crypto Warehouse, a few things you need to do. Number one, of course, is smash the like button or the follow button or the love heart. Whatever buttons you have in front of you, press them all apart from the leave button. A few shout outs this Monday morning. Rick, good morning to you. I hope you are well. I think Kishan is in chat as well. Good morning, Kishan. I've dropped a box, so I can't really see who else is here, but I do know that another Kishan is in. Well, I can't mention the names, but good morning to you all. Thank you for coming to the stream. One other thing I should mention is that we've dropped another video about, I wouldn't call them celebrities, but influencers. We covered Russell Brand last week. We made a video about how much Russell Brand has made in crypto. We've made a video over the weekend about Mr. Beast and how much crypto and what NFTs he has. They are all available on your favorite video channel. Just go to Google, type in Crypto Warehouse, and you'll find us. But enough of that. Let's get on with the show, because the first thing we need to look at is, of course, the prices. Just doing a sound check. Okay. So where are we? We're still at 1.3, 1.31 trillion. We're up a tad. Volume, don't forget, is down over the weekend. It's always 20s, 30s, 40 billion. There's not a lot of volume over the weekend. Expect that to pump up to maybe 50, 60 billion today. Bitcoin dominance it's had a little bit of a drop. We're under 52% now. Ethereum has risen a little bit. It's up at 17.2%. We're going to look at both of those things today in the charts. Now, if we have a look what's made us some money over the weekend, XRP is up 10% in 24 hours. Neo is up 13%. Trust Wallet, OK, Chiliz, Injective, some good gainers over the last 24 hours. And not too many in the way of losers. Multiverse, Immutable X, and Solana. Let's not complain about Solana. It's holding $40. It's up 73% in the last 30 days. As I said on Friday, I think, when we've had a massive run on coins such as Solana, such as it going from $25 to $44, you're going to have profit taking. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the run. We're going to have a look at this actually to do with XRP. So Tariq has asked a question. I'm going to try and answer it today. He's asked me about Ethereum. He's asked me about XRP. So we're going to look at both of them today. And I'm going to give you my theory on what you should do when prices move the way they have moved. So we've got some good gainers. Let's see what's up over the last 30 days. Injective is up nearly over double. Pancake Swap has doubled. Neo has doubled. We've seen a lot of gains over the last 30 days, especially the last 24 hours. So it's all good. It's all rosy to start the week, which is nice. Now let's first of all start off with the big boy, Bitcoin. So we're going to go back again and we're going to have a look at ETFs very quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we don't have a lot of time in the show. But we've spent a lot of time mentioning when these ETFs get approved, when they get approved. So let's go through some of the numbers. So there's 20 active spot Bitcoin ETFs worldwide with a combined value of 4.16 billion. That is peanuts. So Canada, Europe, and Germany are leading in embracing spot Bitcoin ETFs, showcasing progressive regulatory stances. So according to recent data, assets invested in spot Bitcoin ETFs have reached over $4 billion worldwide. Now, just bear in mind that the total market cap of Bitcoin is just under 700 billion. So what does that equate to? $4 billion is not even 1% of the Bitcoin price. Now, we talk a lot on here about America not being the be-all and end-all of the world, and especially when it comes to political disagreements, whether it's we look at their inflation, whether we look at their money printing, whatever it might be, we always point at the fact that America is not necessarily as big as it thinks it is. However, when it comes to these spot Bitcoin ETFs, this gives you just an indication of how big America is. So there's 20 spot ETFs around the world, cumulatively $4 billion. Canada has half of that. It has $2 billion. The largest globally has $819 million in assets. Now, these are tiny, tiny, tiny ETFs. Guernsey, $75 million. Mr. Beast makes more than that in a year. Jersey, $748 million. Jersey, Germany, $800 million. These are tiny, tiny fractions. Now, this is where it's important to understand the purchasing power of America. America isn't just for Americans to invest in. It's a worldwide securities bond market. Everybody in the world invests in America. And I think we'll go through the bit of this article. I'm going to give you an idea of how much money I think is going to come into Bitcoin when all of these 8 outstanding ETFs are approved. So despite the awaiting approval of as many as 10 applications for spot Bitcoin ETFs, the SEC concerns around market manipulation remain. I'm not going to prejudge the staff's work on those multiple ETF filings, but it's also about those companies. When a company or asset manager is seeking to take something public, these products need to be registered with the SEC and they go through a filing somewhat similar to going public. So it really is for the work of our division of corporation finance that gives feedback and looks at the filings. So Gary Gensler, who has been denying Bitcoin ETFs for the last, 4 or 5 years, he's now saying it's in the hands of other people. Is he trying to recuse himself? Is he trying to take a step back? So this puts it into context of just how big America is. The reason being is that should the 8 major ETFs be approved, I think we're going to see somewhere in the region of $50 to $100 billion coming in to Bitcoin overnight. Overnight, I mean within the first 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm talking about potentially 20 times the value of all the existing ETFs coming on board in the space of 2 months, 6 weeks. What would that do to the price? We are currently sitting at 686 billion in market cap. But remember, if we add 100 billion to this in terms of the buying power of Bitcoin, that the market cap isn't going to go up by 100 billion. The market cap is going to move up by multiples of that. So there is an equation somewhere where it says $1 of purchasing power of Bitcoin equates to $4 in price movement or something like that. I can't remember the exact calculation. Or 1 billion moves it $4. I can't remember what the exact number was. Anyway, the point of the matter is, potentially we are going to see Bitcoin hit, I think conservatively, $1 trillion market cap on its own. I could see the Bitcoin price easily going to $45,000 to $50,000 just on the spot Bitcoin ETF alone. And that's where my bullishness is coming from in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not saying we're going to hit $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 by December. What I'm saying is that sheer influx of money, whenever it happens, is going to significantly move the price of Bitcoin. Now, when you see people talking about, oh, Bitcoin will have a dominance of 60%, and I'm a little bit conservative where that's concerned, I'm thinking, is it going to hit 60%? $100 billion comes into Bitcoin tomorrow, we hit 60% dominance. Minimum, maybe 62, 63%. The price is going to shunt greatly. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is massively bullish news for Bitcoin. It is a matter of time. So it's not a case. 6 months ago, you could argue it was a case of if ETFs get approved. We've now moved into the stage of when ETFs will be approved. They are two totally different mindsets. It's like, imagine being a child and your parents say to you, well, you'll have to be good. Santa might not come this year. If you're good, he will come. Okay? You see that mindset, and then it's December the 13th, 14th, and your parents say to you, you've been a good kid all year. Santa's going to be leaving you a nice present. So it goes from if Santa's coming to when Santa comes. And that's how this is going to play out. That's why we've seen the bullish momentum, because simply put, we are all trying to front run these applications. So if we have a quick look at the charts, again, I'm not going to spend too long looking at the charts again. We're still in this beautiful channel that we've been in since the 24th of October, and we've been kind of chewing around in this range quite nicely. We test the upper end, we come back down. The upper end is about 36,000, the lower end is about 34,500. That's where we are, and I think that's a nice healthy range. We're putting in higher lows. Only thing I would say that's concerning me is this kind of very, very, very bearish divergence that I see on the charts, where I don't know, it's only on the 4 hour, but it worries me at the back of my mind. Are we going to see some kind of correction? We've still got it here. So I did this on Friday, if you remember. If we extend this out to today, we are still... So we've got bearish divergence everywhere. And it doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. But when it happens on multiple time frames, it makes me think we're going to have a bit of a retracement. I don't know where we're going to come down to. Maybe we only come down to the bottom of this line, which is 34,500. Maybe we do this, clear out some longs, and then we come back up again. I mean, that's a possible move. But as far as I can see, we're doing quite well. We've had the golden cross, which I believe was here. This is the golden cross. We've had that. So potentially we could ignore all of the bearish divergences. Maybe we're just going to go back up and retest 36,000 again. Remember, we're in a phase as well where news is moving the markets. We're in a phase 3 or 4 months ago. The news didn't mean a jot. We were just bullish news on X, bullish news on Tesla, bullish news on renewable energy in Bitcoin, bullish news on everything. Nothing moved the markets until ETFs came along, and that really moved the market. Yes, we've been putting in decent returns throughout the year, but it wasn't causing surges. So I'm trying to think of what's on the horizon that could bring the price down. Would the SEC confirming January for ETFs, is that going to move the price down? I don't think so. We're in the first part of November, so that's only 8 weeks away. If the SEC say that they're going to delay, How long are they going to delay for? They've already lost the court case with Grayscale. They're meeting behind closed doors this week with Grayscale to discuss how to move forward, because the SEC's lost its case. It can't win the argument based on its previous resistance. It's now past that. So where do we go? There's only one direction as far as I'm concerned, and that's up. I mean, we've got war and conflict. We have recession knocking on the door. We have all of these things happening, but Bitcoin is still moving up. So I'm very, very dubious about marking anything on the charts for a price down, but we could come down to here. Worst case scenario, we could probably retest 30,000, 31,000. But I mean, there's people talking for 20. There's people talking about these levels down here again, and this level here. I mean, we could very well come down here, but I just don't see it. I think we've gone past the stage of being bearish. I think we're now moving into bullish territory, and everything I'm going to say bearish is probably not going to play out. So if we do come down, maybe 34.5, 36 remains the battle at the top, and then after 36 I'm expecting 38, then 40,000. That's just the way the markets feel at the minute. And also the news. Remember, I say quite a lot that I look at the news. I look at what kind of news comes out, and we have these kinds of headlines. So Crypto Strategist predicts rallies for Ethereum and 3 ETH-based altcoins. These articles are the types of articles I'm now starting to see, where in the past maybe we'd see articles about retracements, retractions, Bitcoin could hit 15,000. The news is becoming more bullish to try and drive, or not try and drive, but fueling the flames of this cycle that we're in, which is an upward movement. So remember, Bitcoin is always going to be a number go up coin. It just goes through those cycles, and I think we are in a positive cycle. So let's move on to who's this? Henry Canapi, a widely followed crypto analyst, believes that Ethereum and 3 other altcoins in its ecosystem are primed for surges. Kaleo tells his 600,000 followers on social media X that Ethereum is threatening to take out its diagonal resistance at $1,900. Now, let me just bring the chart up in the background while we are looking at this. So where are we at the minute with Ethereum? We're at 1894, and this is the chart I drew today, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So we're at 1894. He thinks we're going to break 1900. Considering it's a diagonal season, the fun for ETH should really start whenever it clears 1900. He's got the same kind of chart as me. The crypto strategist is also keeping an eye on Arbitrum. Now, Arbitrum, we were asked about, I think again it was Tariq asked me about Arbitrum, and the Arbitrum chart was horrific. It had been going down for 6-12 months, and I think we said at the time nothing can go down forever. We gave some price targets. I believe that it actually went below $1 well, not when we made the video, but I think shortly afterwards we've hit $1. So Arbitrum is looking, well, they're looking at a move up. OP is looking positive. I don't hold Arbitrum, but I do hold a very small amount of Optimism. And Blur, yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. I'm not a big fan of NFT marketplace tokens. I like to steer clear of anything to do with NFTs. Very lucky or very intelligent people make money out of NFTs, and I am neither. So let's have a quick look at this chart. Actually, before I do, I'm just going to drop some boxes. 80 cents range. Andy, happy new month to you as well, sir. So ARB went down as far as 80 cents. Wow. That is wholly criminal for those coins. I did say on Friday as well, remember, that there are going to be tokens where the price action is just constantly negative because there's no news coming out. And that tends to be because there's no real bullish news coming out. There's no influencers talking about the coin. Those types of things tend to keep the price down. And that tends to be when projects are building. So people like to sell, people like to buy the news rather. There's a saying, buy the rumor, sell the news. That is, you hold a coin until a certain event happens, the halving, for example, and then you sell, because that's when people come and buy. They buy the news. Oh, the Bitcoin halving's happened, I'm going to buy now. Well, no, you should have bought at $15,000. You're now buying at $45,000, and everybody that's been in the market for 2 years is taking profits to wait for the price to maybe retrace to 35 to 40,000 and then buy back in. So a lot of people like to buy the news, and that's the arse way of doing it. You buy the rumor, which isn't the rumor. You buy before the news comes out, and then you sell when the news comes out. That's the best way to play the game. Okay. Right, I'm just going to drop some boxes. I've dropped one there. I'm going to go on to the other place and look at that again. So that one is dropped. Okay, one more. It's a lot slower to do this when I am on my own. Right, so this is going to be... Right. Okay, I think I've done everything I need to do. There we go. Okay, so everybody should now have... Oh no, didn't drop. 1 second. I had caps lock on. Everybody should now have boxes. Wherever you are, wherever you're watching us, you should have something to claim on your screen. Remember, this is free. You don't pay for us to give you these free crypto drops. All we ask is you give us a like and you subscribe to the channel. That's all we ask for. We stream, at the minute we're streaming 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. We've been having some Sundays off, and it has been really nice to have a Sunday off because, believe it or not, it takes a long time to prepare these streams. So back to Ethereum. Where are we? We've spoken in the past about falling below the moving average and the struggles that Ethereum has in staying above it. We've broken clear. We've been in the same kind of channel that Bitcoin has been in, except we've done this really strange movement where we've broken out of the channel and now we're on top of the channel, which is really odd. That's like climbing out your chimney and walking along the roof. But we're at a good price here, and as the article was saying, 1900 is, if you go back to multiple occasions in the last 6 months, we have had... 1 second. We have had multiple instances of struggling at this 19,000 range. Now, that could be psychological. Also, don't forget, a lot of people trade the Bitcoin Ethereum pair. That's another thing to bear in mind. So there's two things that can happen, and I'm going to answer Tariq directly on this. There's two things that are going to happen. We are either going to try and test this $20,000 range here. We're going to try and test... Well, first of all, we've got to get past 1915. Then we've got 1955. And then we have the promised land of 2000. So if we do break up we've got to do something like this to get there. It seems achievable, but it will only happen if Bitcoin has another run. So the other alternative, because we're going to look at XRP as well, but we haven't got an article about that, is this a good time to sell Ethereum? I think if we break 19,000 and we get to this area here at about 1910, 1920, I think if we get to here, I don't think it's a bad place to take a bit of profit. And that's only another $25 up, because there's still a good chance we're going to come back down to 1850 or 1820 and come back into this range. Now, there isn't too much in the way of bullish or bearish divergence on the 4-hour. Let's go and have a look at the daily. And again, we're not really in bearish divergence territory on the daily either. So unlike Bitcoin, which is flashing bearish everywhere, Ethereum isn't looking too bearish. So I think we could have another leg up. And I think 1913 is where we could get to. That's really bad writing, I do apologise. So I think 1913 is a good target to maybe take some profits, because there's no reason for it to shoot up tomorrow and go to $2,000. So maybe we do this and we come back down into this range. That's a possibility. So as far as I can see, Tariq, if we can't get above 19, if we keep getting to 1901, 1902, 1898, if we stick there, I'd look to take some profits and then maybe wait for a 3 or 4% retracement, wait for everything to cool off and see where we go. So that's what I would do with Ethereum. But again, at this moment in time, I am looking up on most coins because the news across the board now is wholly positive. Now, I know we covered ADA on the stream on I think I covered it on Saturday. I'm going to cover it again because I said on Saturday that I had some key targets for Cardano, and we've kind of hit the first one. So I want to go back over it again, just to kind of like reiterate. When prices go up or down in crypto, it's like walking up a set of stairs. It doesn't go up in a straight line. You do get the odd God candle, but it's like steps. You're walking up a set of stairs. Eventually, you'll get tired of walking up the stairs, and that's when the buying pressure and the bears get exhausted and they need to kind of like break down. But the stairs are like an escalator, and the bears are forever trying to push you back down the stairs. So you have this constant battle between bulls and bears. The bulls are trying to walk up the stairs faster than the bears can push you down them. And with things like Ethereum, with things like Cardano, which don't move a great deal, your steps are more defined. They are more sequential. Whereas with Bitcoin and Ethereum, you get these huge God candles, $2,000, $1,000 in a day. Cardano is it's like a tortoise, and it's really slow, and it doesn't move very quickly. But also, like I said on Saturday, it's possibly a sign of things to come in terms of how crypto will move in the future, because Cardano's proof of stake is just so perfect. It's perfect in every way. It's so perfect that Charles has been talking about using Cardano's proof of stake system to actually help secure other chains. So maybe secure Solana. I know Solana doesn't need it, but the potential is there. Securing smaller chains. What benefit would that be to Cardano holders? They would be paid Cardano and the other token as staking rewards. So they would be double dipping into crypto. Now think about that for a second. It's possible. He's talked about it. I'm sure they're working on it. If that news broke in December, Cardano would be over $1 within a few hours, and then you would see a God candle. But he doesn't work like that. He tends to be nice and methodical. So let me make this a little bit bigger so it fits on the screen. Charles praises Cardano, calls it the root of trust for the entire crypto industry. Speaking during the just concluded Cardano Summit in Dubai, he encapsulated the journey of Cardano. Not too long ago, Cardano was very small, but we had great vision. If you think about what we've achieved over the last 7 years, it's pretty remarkable, and we're just getting started. The fact that Cardano has never failed in 5 years, it's always been running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's becoming effectively the root trust of the entire crypto space. There is no engine better, there is no code better than what we've written. Now, Crypto Crow was talking yesterday about this on Twitter, and I replied to him and I said the one thing that many people don't realize is that Charles plays chess, not checkers. His goal and his vision, he doesn't care about the price. He doesn't care about making you rich tomorrow. He cares about changing the world. But by changing the world, the price will follow. So it's kind of one of those things where he's focusing on the product first and the price later. We don't have to go through all of them, but it's secure. There's plenty of liquidity. It's added stable coins in the last few months. It has DEXs. It has an NFT marketplace. It has everything that Ethereum has in terms of options. It just doesn't have the liquidity of Ethereum yet. Now, Midnight is about to launch, and that will be the first partner chain to implement the new framework, which is interesting because World of Warcraft announced its new expansion over the weekend or on Friday, I don't remember, and that was called Midnight. So I don't know whether there's going to be some kind of Cardano Midnight WoW crossover, who knows. The Cardano community remains actively engaged, we know about this. We know about this as well. Cardano boasts 148 launch projects, 9 million native tokens, staggering 1,300 projects in development pipeline. That said, recent developments on Cardano reflect the project's continued growth and potential as a trusted foundation. Exactly. Who wrote this? Newton. Yeah, I like your article, my friend. Good article. So let's have a quick look at the price, and then we're going to move on. Because one of the things which I think I've already told you before, but Cardano is about my 5th largest holding, and I hold it. It's one of those things. Are you in crypto for the gains? Are you in crypto for the tech? Are you in crypto because it's going to change the world? Are you in crypto because you believe it's a force of good over governments who might be seen as a force of evil? There's lots of reasons. I hold Cardano because I believe it's the most well-run blockchain in existence. It's better than Ethereum. Bitcoin is a commodity. I don't really count that as anything other than a secure digital version of land, gold, whatever you want to call it. So in terms of active blockchains, what can you compare Cardano to? Ethereum. Ethereum is riddled with problems. You've got fees, you have scams, you have the layer 2 problems with contracts. It's the most drained blockchain in the world if you look at what scammers go after. You know, Ethereum is like a PC running Windows. Cardano is like an Apple Mac running Mac OS. It's not really targeted to the same degree because it doesn't have the same level of exposure, liquidity, whatever you want to call it. So I'm in Cardano because it's a safe pair of hands. Now, I always say to zoom out when you look at Cardano. And I said that some of our targets we needed to break. Let's see. So if we covered this on Saturday, the price would have been here at 29 cents. And I said we needed to break 33 to 34 cents to get the next leg up. We've gone to 35 cents. Now, had you been holding Cardano on the 18th of October, you would have made a 40% gain in 2 weeks. A 40% gain on Cardano in 2 weeks. Now that's unheard of as far as I'm concerned with Cardano. It's unheard of. It's broken above its moving average. It's had its cross here. And are we now going to start to look towards... See, look at where the price has come up to. The price has come up to this level here, where in the past we've had resistance and support, and we're now sitting just below it. And that is at 36 cents, yeah, 35.7 cents. So I said we needed to break 34 cents and then target 36 cents. We're knocking on the door of 36 cents. If we break above that, we're going to do this hopefully, and then we are looking up towards my target of 40 cents. 40 cents for me, I think, is a very natural price for Cardano. Not in the bull run. In the bull run, I'm expecting anywhere between $2.50 and $5, depending on how well we go. But in terms of accumulation, people were saying down here, anything under 30 cents, which is about here, anything in this range is your accumulation phase for Cardano. So if we can get back to below 30 cents, I would strongly advise you to stack a bag of Cardano and stake it natively. It is one of, if not the best blockchain. I still think it's better than Ethereum. I can't stress, it's literally like the most conservative blockchain there is. There's no hype around it, but if he does what he's planning to do, and he does this cross-chain staking and cross-chain proof of stake, that is going to be groundbreaking. Absolutely groundbreaking, because of what it offers to other chains, and more importantly, what value it offers to Cardano holders. So have a look at ADA. I think we are going to get to 36 cents, and then we're either going to have a retracement, or if there's really bullish news today, we're going to break it, and then my target is 40 cents. So that's where we are. Now, with XRP, I'm going to cover this very quickly, because this isn't a chart show. This is supposed to be news where we talk about the different coins and what's going on, and we do have a lot of other news to talk about. I want to talk about Musk, and I want to talk about the Simpsons. Okay, so where are we with XRP? XRP is knocking on the door of 70 cents, and a few weeks ago, so let's have a look at when it would have been. So about here, again, only 3 weeks ago, somebody on the stream said to me, you know, why would you buy XRP when it's looking to go below 50 cents? And I said, if you can get hold of XRP at anywhere between 40 and 55 cents, you are not going to regret it in the bull run. And since that young lady asked me that question, we have done this. Now, it's not her fault. She had no idea it was going to do this, and neither did I. I had an idea that we were going to follow the long-term trend line, which we've followed since January. So I knew we were going to have this. Now, the question is about Ethereum. Is it going to hit a level and then retrace? I think the same thing with XRP. Let's put it on the daily just to make life a bit easier. We're starting to get slightly overbought on all the different time frames. We're overbought on the 4-hour. We're becoming overbought on the daily. So I expect some kind of cool down. Now, what we could do is we could fall back into this range. And this range is a fairly decent range to be in. So around here, if you've got prices, you've got 65 cents and 68.5 cents. So potentially we could come back down to about 65 cents. We are up quite a lot in it, considering this is a top 10 coin. To be up 5% like this in 24 hours is some going. So I do think we're going to cool off on XRP. So if you were to take profits now, it wouldn't necessarily be the end of the world. But what I say is, we advise you to DCA into crypto. That means that you buy your crypto on a daily, weekly, monthly scale. When you sell to take profits, it's always a good idea to sell in multiples. So rather than selling at 70 cents, sell 100% of your bag at 70 cents. Maybe sell 10% or 15% at 70 cents. Then if it pushes higher, you sell another 10 or 15%. And what you want to do is you want to DCA out the same way that you DCA in. Now, don't get me wrong. If you are up 100% in XRP and you just want to take some profits, by all means, sell 40, 50% of your bag, because it's a big chunk of change, that. But if you're looking at 5 and 10% gains and sniping here or there, then it's not a bad idea. When you're in this bullish momentum, it's not a bad idea to only take slices of profit off. The same way if the price is going down. So if XRP was doing this, okay? If XRP was doing this, what I would be doing is I would be setting buy orders at the different levels to buy. So I would have a set of maybe 10 purchase orders, and I would set the price to buy at 44 cents, 39 cents, 34 cents, and 32 cents. That's what I would do. And if you're lucky, you'll maybe get a couple of wicks down to pick them all up in one go. Or maybe over the course of about 6 months, you'll get all your different buy orders filled. And the same should be on the way up. If you've held XRP since 10 cents, maybe you take some profits at 50 cents. Maybe you take some profits at 55, 60, maybe 65, and maybe we've touched this fib level, 69 cents. Maybe that's what you do. So when somebody says, you know, when should I buy, when should I sell? To remove a lot of risk from that question, you should dollar cost average in and dollar cost average out. Remember, in the bull run, to take profits, and I'm talking from bitter experience, in the last bull run, bear in mind, I was buying Bitcoin between $1,000 and $3,000. At $69,000 and $65,000, I should have been taking profits, and I didn't. And I held it all the way up, and I've held it all the way down. Now, I am long-term on Bitcoin, but that still doesn't mean I shouldn't have sold it at $69,000 or $60,000 and bought back in at $20,000, because I'd have 3x the amount of Bitcoin I was holding. So I'm not an expert when it comes to dollar cost averaging in and out. But emotion always overcomes you, and you know, unless you're a Vulcan, you are going to suffer from I don't know what you want to call it, FOMO. You're gonna worry about missing the top, whatever it might be. If you dollar cost average out and you sell 10% every $2,000 or $3,000, and you don't get to the price target you were hoping to get to, you still might have sold 70% of your Bitcoin, at which point you're in massive profit and you're ready to buy in the next bear market. So if I was you, I would take some profits. We are at this fib level of 69 cents. We have two areas here, 68 and 64 cents. We could come back down to. On the very, very bottom of this range is 61.5 cents. So potentially we could get rejected here, come back down. So it's actually clearer to take profits on XRP now than it is on Ethereum. So I hope that very long-winded explanation answers your question a little bit, Tariq. Now we're going to skip the SEC article and we're going to move on to talk about Elon Musk and X. And there's a reason I want to talk about this, is for the last couple of months I have been going on about the fact that I think Doge is going to become the coin of X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Right, just let me drop another box. Give me 1 second. Comment. Let's put that on. Actually, let's not do it for that amount of time. 1 second. 1 minute. That won't be a second. So while you're waiting, can you all do me a favour? Smash the like button. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you have checked for our up and coming streams, which tomorrow it's going to be 11 o'clock. The day after it's going to be 11 o'clock. R77, welcome. I'm going to drop another box over here as well, if I can. Right, okay. What do you mean log in? Give me a second. Okay, well, I can't do that on that one, so I'm going to have to not do this. Right, okay, let's carry on. So none of my companies will ever create a crypto token, says Elon Musk. Why has he said this? He said this very simply because crypto tokens are wholly open to the SEC, and Elon Musk owns Twitter, he owns SpaceX, he owns X, he owns Tesla, whatever you want to call them all. If he was to create a token, he'd open up a can of worms with the SEC. He'd be in court for the next 2 or 3 years arguing that it was a security. There's no point in Elon Musk offering his own coin. Now, why is he going to offer Dogecoin as a currency on X? Very simple. What does the SEC not consider to be securities? It considers proof of work coins not to be securities. Proof of stake coins, you get them in airdrops, you get them in launches, IPOs, whatever you call them, ICOs. Proof of work, they're mined. Very simply put, they're very much like oil, coal, gold, silver, platinum, whatever that comes out of the ground. So these coins are mined. Dogecoin very rarely, if ever, shows up in an SEC prosecution. So is Elon Musk going to want to offer Bitcoin, Litecoin or Dogecoin as a tipping function on X? He's going to offer Doge. It's a picture of a Shiba Inu. His personal pet is a Shiba Inu. Which one is he going to pick? Of course he's going to pick Dogecoin. That's the coin. It's cheap. It's built on the Litecoin and Bitcoin infrastructure. He has talked to them in the past about having staking options, potentially moving away from proof of work, all of these kind of things. But it is the most obvious call you will ever see in crypto. And that call is that Doge is going to hit 20 and 30 cents when Elon Musk comes out and announces it. There is already code in the new wallet with a token of X. Now, X is just a placeholder. If they wrote Doge, spike would have happened weeks ago. So he's keeping it under wraps. He's probably speaking to the founder of Doge about how best to do this. But Doge is going to be the tipping function of Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. That is an undeniable fact. So when he comes out and says this, to shut down speculation about a native crypto token for X, on Friday, who denied that any of his companies will ever issue a cryptocurrency after months of feverish speculation that the tech tycoon was toying with the idea of launching a crypto token. He was never going to do it. To be super clear, none of my companies will ever create a crypto token. On Friday, Musk told X users about the launch of his AI startup XAI, which will provide X Premium Plus subscribers with AI features. The news resulted in a 175% price spike for the XAI token, which is entirely unrelated. Exactly. This is going to be the key. Dogecoin is going to be the currency, and I don't hold any, and I don't intend to hold any. But if you were planning to take a lead on something, then look at Doge. Nobody's talking about it at the minute. It's probably at a very good price right now. Go and have a look. Did we really just fall back below? Okay, I was going to say. Right, Doge is currently at 7 cents. 7.2 cents. Easily 3x. Easily 3x from here if it's approved for X. I think the two psychological barriers for Dogecoin are 10 cents and 12 cents. We've looked at that coin many times. If we do hit 12 cents, you're looking at a 50%, 60% gain. So don't fade Dogecoin. And now we're going to look at probably one of the coolest headlines I've read out on the stream, and that is The Simpsons. The Simpsons take a dig at NFTs in Treehouse of Horror episode. Remember how we were always saying we wish Bart was less fungible? Homer asks Marge after he pulls his son on chain. How cool is this? Has this got a little clip of it? Nope. Go away with the pop-ups. NFTs and the blockchain made a special appearance on The Simpsons Sunday night US time. During Treehouse of Horror, the Halloween special episode of the iconic animated series, the show made numerous references to the overvaluation of on-chain NFTs in the first chapter of the episode titled Wild Bart's Cannot Be Token. NFTs are a special... We don't need to read one. We all know what an NFT is. Now, I can't click on that because it will take me to X and then all kinds of hell will break loose. In the episode, Marge battles through the blockchain to rescue Bart, now a living NFT, while the city's mayor declares that Springfield's art gallery will be digitised. There are also plenty of appearances by blue-chip NFTs like Beeple, Bored Ape Yacht Club and second-tier PFPs being shown as nearly worthless. On X, an NFT collector and advisor said, I loved how the episode had an incredible art emphasis. The PFPs were painted largely as the bottom of the barrel, whereas art was positioned at a level of prestige. They even had Bored Ape Yacht Club holders cleaning their feet. There was a FOMO meter and dramatic Satoshi sculpture featuring a Bitcoin. The episode, which had plenty of references to the NFT crash of last year, isn't the first time that crypto or NFTs have appeared. In 2020, Frinkcoin, featuring Jim Parsons educating viewers on cryptocurrency, complete with a singing ledger book and teasers to the identity of Satoshis. The latest episode appeared to have a minor impact on the floor prices of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, according to CoinGecko data, and the Mutant Ape Yacht Club, with floor prices up 2.9% in comparison. Ether is down a little bit. So why is this a good thing? Because if we want adoption, there's a rule in marketing, and it's basically it takes 7 messages to explain to somebody a concept, or convince somebody to go to your shop, or sell somebody an album, or make somebody go to the movie. You might sit at home some days and have the TV on and wonder why the same advert plays over and over again. In the UK, we have an advert called Go Compare, where this guy comes on and in an operatic voice, he sings Go Compare over and over again. And that's because it's a mantra. And mantras have hysterical, possibly even DNA-based effects on us because we repeat the same thing over and over again. We also apparently have a worship DNA, or we have worship DNA, which I didn't know until recently. So why does that make any difference to this? Because when you start to see NFTs and crypto and Bitcoin appearing in quiz shows, in The Simpsons, in South Park, in tickers on Bloomberg, it just gives everything to do with crypto more validity. Okay, the less we talk about the fact that crime happens on the blockchain, crime happens everywhere. Crime isn't exclusive to Bitcoin and isn't exclusive to Ethereum. People have been stealing works of art for thousands of years. People have been stealing food for thousands of years. People have been stealing money for thousands. As long as money has existed, it's been stolen in one way or another. So we can't focus on that because that detracts from what the blockchain can give us. So It doesn't matter if the Simpsons are taking the mickey out of NFTs. I take the mickey out of NFTs, and I love crypto, but I take the mickey out of them because most of them are worthless pieces of pixels. So when the Simpsons have an episode about Bart being on the blockchain, you could argue, potentially we've made it. It's on the Simpsons. It's probably one of the top 5 cartoons in the world. So it might be negative, but it's tongue-in-cheek. And remember, the Simpsons predict the future. Always predicts the future. Maybe it's because the Freemasons, maybe it's because they're part of the Illuminati, whatever you want to believe, but the Simpsons have a good record of predicting the future. Just ask Donald Trump. So as far as I'm concerned, it's great news that there's an episode about the Simpsons. And I like Halloween anyway, so for it to be a Halloween episode makes it even better. Now, we are going to say goodbye to our viewers on one platform. I'm going to turn you off now. Thanks for coming. We are back tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central European Time. Don't forget to give us a follow. Don't forget to give us a like. So I'm going to end that stream now. And then for those of you who are left, we're going to do the quiz. So until tomorrow, see you and have a great day.